Hello again folks. Well, if you remember last time we were out here in the garage, I was trying to get the rear swing arm off the bike but didn't have the right size spanner, so went online and ordered myself a 24mm ring spanner. It's arrived, so let's get straight into it and get this rear swing arm off, and then maybe today we'll get the engine out as well. Well, that's fantastic. I've got the rear swing arm off, so that means we can begin removing the old paint, or actually not so old paint. I do believe Lucas had this blasted and resprayed, but it is still quite pitted on these bits, so I'll have another go at that. But not today. Today's mission is to get this engine out. Now let's have a quick look and see what is still connected to the engine and potentially stopping it coming out. Well, there's the front engine mount here, of course. There's the clutch cable. We've got the rear engine mount, and I think that's the crankcase breather to disconnect there. Now at the top here we do have the connections to the airbox from the carbs. I'm going to leave the carbs on, I think, to try and take the engine off without taking the carbs off. So yeah, I just need to get rid of this gaiter again that we did struggle with before. Then on this side we've obviously got the chain, and I might have to take the sprocket off to get the chain off. We've got the gear selector, and we've got some wires going in to the stator area, so they're all on connectors. I can trace those back and disconnect them. So yeah, I think that's probably all we need to do. Let's start this side. I'm going to do the engine mounts last, of course. Let's take this sprocket off, get rid of the gear change linkage, unplug those wires, disconnect the engine breather, and take off that carburetor boot. Well, while I get on with that, I'll just show you my new design for our channel t-shirts. They're printed on certified organic cotton, and you can get them from the link in the description of this video. And yeah, you could look as cool as I do. Now you'll see I marked the gear change spindle thing with a mark, so I know exactly where to put back that little arm for the gear change lever. It's also important to know which way round the front sprocket goes back on, because if you put that a couple of teeth round, you could be as much as one whole revolution out on the back wheel, and that means every journey you went on afterwards you'd have to start 20 meters away from your house. There's also another couple of connectors here on the carbs that I need to disconnect and label up, and there's a wire that goes in here as well. I think that's one of the main engine earths. Right, let's label those up and pop them off. Right, now on this side we've got the clutch cable and the throttle cable to disconnect. I've been looking at how I'm going to remove the engine because it's only the mounts now really holding it in. But I think because this brake line runs along the frame here, I think I'm going to take the whole back brake mechanism out. I think I can do it in one piece. Yeah, just take this off the frame. The caliper's already off at the back, and this valve here I can just undo, and I can remove the whole shooting match off the bike and not risk damaging it when I take the engine out. Well, it turns out I've given myself a bit of a problem. I can't, with the bike up on the lift, get any sort of jack underneath to support the engine. So I've got the circular saw and the sawhorses out, and I've cut myself a couple of wooden bearers out of some 20mm ply that I had. And this one won't quite go under, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the rear engine mount bolts. Hopefully that'll allow the engine to swing up a little bit and I can slide that bearer through. This one's already through, so it should support the front of the engine. And I can undo the front engine bolt, and then we might be able to lift the engine out. We'll see. I'm going to put some dust sheets down on either side just in case of disasters, but I don't think we'll need them. I don't think this engine is stupidly heavy. Difficult to judge, but I don't think so. Anyhow, we've got to bite the bullet. It's just me here, so let's crack on, see what happens. Right, well, obviously what I'm about to do is not recommended. You should have two people probably to do this, and yeah, be careful of your back and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it's only me here today, and I do want to get this out. It is only a 250, it's not a stupidly heavy engine. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and slide it out past the engine mounts and get it onto this mat, and then we can maybe get it up onto a workbench to work on it another day. So yeah, be very careful if you try something like this. I don't know how it's going to go. Let's see how it's going to go. It's still connected to something. That's unfortunate. And got a little wire, folks, still connected. Just there. But that's okay. Engine's sort of safe there. Well, at least on one bearer. We'll undo this. I thought I checked everything and got everything, but clearly not. I'd be in trouble if it was a much heavier engine, wouldn't I? Gotta really watch out for that sort of thing. Right, there we go. I suspect that was a little earth of some sort. Let's try again, shall we? Lovely. I'm just going to label up that earth so I know what it is when we come to put the engine back in again. Well, there we go. I'm pretty pleased with today's progress, and I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me in the garage this afternoon, and yeah, looking forward to pressing on with this. So we'll see you again very soon in the next episode.